Alright, let's get the mic on. Let me get you off of starting soon. Hope everyone is doing well today. Let's jump into uh back into the hen. I was messing around with the hen house a little bit last night. I never did get it finished. So I thought we'd jump in here today and work on this for a bit. Let's create a plane to work on. So we have a flat surface. This should have all my triggers in it that I need. Yeah, it should. And then let's import in, let's go back to the hen house. Let's bring in the barn. I don't know how we're going to set this down because it's got this weird high door. And if I bring the door down to ground level, then we get this roof that goes under the ground. So maybe we'll stick some silos on that side. Let's get this thing centered so we can move the pallet spawners a little bit. Let's throw that in. Do I have a... Yeah, we do. Let's go edit cut. Let's get it actual in the map file. Dixie, good morning. Alright, so we can move the spawners a little bit. We really need a poultry house even with the 2,000 chickens. Yeah, that's what I'm working on. We need more eggs. Alright, let's import in... What else did I bring in? Let's bring the silo in. Is it this? Okay. Oh, cool. So I can make these work together. Perfect. I think. Yeah, we can hide that weird door up in the air, I think, with this building. So let's go edit, cut, and paste. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to, because we're going to have to buy the chickens at the store. I'm not going to be able to hide those weird doors. But yeah, we're going to have to buy chickens at the store and then deliver them to the factory. Because I can't get the chickens from the animal dealer to work. So we're going to have pallets of live chickens, if I can get them to work. Let's pull this forward a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see. This is just something I started messing around with last night, right before dinner. Couldn't get a chance to get in and finish it. Cherokee 058, hello. Sassy 1, good morning. Alright, so what other props did I bring in? Map files are a mess. I don't have anything finished. So I used the barn. I may or may not put a fence around. And then what were the attachments? I think this was for the old barn. I had two different barns picked out, and I decided to use this one instead. Yeah, these are all the attachments for the old barn. So those I don't need. Alright, so let's do... let's do this. Let's create a transform group. I'm going to throw it up here. We're going to call it fence. And we're going to go file, import. I think I have a fence and a fence post. me throw that there a second, and then let me go File, Import. Let me bring in the fence post, I think. Yeah, they're the two I want to use. Okay, so let's go Edit, Cut. Let's throw the fence post in here. And we'll do the same thing with the fence. Let's go Edit, Cut, and Paste. Alright, let's get... Which way do we want to go? Let's turn it this way. Why are you like all weird for a minute? Alright, let's go minus 180. Okay, so this fence is not square to the world. Why is this fence not square to the world? So if I go 0, minus 1, we may have to go into the map and pick out a different fence. Okay, so if I zero you out, if I go 0, 0, 0, okay, that'll work. So I wanted to get it square to the world. And then let's go that way to 90. And then we'll bring the fence post over to get us started on this corner. Alright, so let's bring the pole over. I'll take the speed down a little bit. Alright, let's grab the fence post. This thing's not even square to the world. 0, 0, 0. Gotta love the shit that's in Giants maps. Alright, so let's throw that there. Let's throw, okay, so that fence post now doesn't match the fence. Yeah, way to go, Giants. And the dog just came busting in here. Let me or I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I just don't want my microphone to pick up the television. Alright, let's bring that down a hair. Let's bring this down a bit. Alright, now we're good. Alright, let's get a little bit of a fence in here. I don't want much of a fence. I don't want this too big. Alright, let's duplicate that. Let's spin it this way. Whoa. Yeah, I don't know if the pallet of live chickens is going to work until we actually get this built and into the game. And I may have to rebuild the pallet of chickens if it won't auto-load. But that's something we're going to have to play with once I get it into the game. Minus 90. Get this guy pulled back. Yeah, I want to get a couple factories ahead. So I thought instead of working on the one that still don't know what to do with that 16x map. It's still being a pain in the butt. Alright, so let's go. Let me create another transform group. I'm going to stick it up here. And let's call it chickens. Unfortunately, we're going to have some static chickens, but I want to throw a few of them in here. Let me import in the chicken pallet for a second. We'll grab one of the chickens out of it. Chicken pallet's not 100% complete, but I was working on this a lot last night. But I want to grab just one of the chickens out of it. I just wanted to get a few chickens in there. So let's delete the pallet out. And then let's get, so what do we have in there? I think that's the pallet spawner. It is. Oop, that ain't gonna work. Is that the pallet spawner? It is. Okay, so let's get the pallet spawner out of the way for now. Let's get the warning stripe out of the way for now. Make sure I have no, okay, so our selling station, so our triggers are in there too, so let's get the triggers out of there. What else do we have in there? Nothing. I have an empty yard now. Alright, let's take this chicken. Let's get ourselves a few of them in there. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do the whole Control B. No, I'm not going to be able to do the whole free-floating chicken, I don't think. Oh, maybe I can. We'll just have to turn them a little bit. Alright, so let's start moving them a little bit. So they're not all facing the same way. Yeah, that'll work. My OCD is going to drive me nuts. So let's take this fence. Come on, give me the fence. Slide you down. Slide you down. We'll slide this one down. Make this one a little bit longer. We'll take this one, make it a little bit longer. Alright, that's better. Now, where do we want our pallets? Over on this side. Okay, so let's grab let's close some of this stuff. Alright, so let's grab our warning stripe. Lights will have to come back to warning stripe. Well, since it wants to go this way, let's put our pallets on this side. Right there by the bottom door. That's a good spot for it. Alright, so now we take our pallet spawner. I think the pallet spawner has to stay at 0, 0, 0. And then we could take the start and the end and move the start and the end. And actually, I think I can... let's make this a little bit longer. Let's double up the warning stripe. That'll work. Now let's take our pallet spawner, and where's the end? This way. Let's pull this down this way. So it'll give us a longer row of pallets. Memories from the old hen house from Ritchieville, hauling chickens around about 4 years ago. That's what we're going to have to do in 22. We can't get the triggers to work from 19 like we did in 19 at the slaughterhouse or the hen house. So we're going to have to haul pallets of live chickens around. So that's going to be our pallet area. Let's go back to our selling station. And let's put our input products over here. Alright, so let's, now lights we're going to have to fix. Okay, so visual is done. Alright, before we get to the clear areas next on the list, let's take our plane and let's get this down to size. I could probably go, well, let me just slide that over a little bit. Right, that should work. Alright, so where is our clear? Okay, we don't need 3, so let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of that. We'll work with this one. So start. Width. And height. Alright, clear area is done. Level area, we don't need 3, so let me delete that one. Let me delete that one. Let's get this one in place. This basically tells the game where to spawn your factory into the map when you go to buy it. And I'll throw you there. Alright. Indoor area. That'll work. Test area, we don't need 3. I still have no idea what the test area does. I can't get a straight answer from Giants. I don't even think they know what the test area does. But I got to keep it in there because if I take it out, it throws an error. Alright, so our info trigger is the box that you get when you walk up to the factory. We can make that a bit smaller. That'll work. I guess we're stuck with lights now. I only want to do 2 because anything more than 2 is a pain in the butt. So I'm going to stick with 2. I want to make them the spotlights. Light switch, that one I shouldn't need. And I only need 2 of these. Alright, so the first light, let's throw it over here by the where you pick up your pallets. And we'll start it about here. Alright, so shift and copy here, shift and paste, but what is this one? 0, 0, 0. So this one also has to be 0 and 0. Okay. And in our link node, Shift and V. I don't think I need these user attributes though. Let me check one of the, let me save that. Let me check one of the other factories really quick. I don't think I need those link nodes. Lights, link nodes. Yeah, link nodes have no user attributes. So these can go, and we're going to run them off the map file. We're going to run them, I'm sorry, off the barn XML. So that should be the first light. Let's take our second light. And let's sort of put it over here where we're going to have our stuff dropped off. We'll put it, let's throw it on the corner of the barn. Let's throw it up here. Let me grab that. So Shift and copy. And then this has to go to 0 and 0. And then our link node can also go to 0. We'll get rid of the user attributes. We shouldn't need them. Alright, so that should be our lighting done. Alright, let's look at our selling station. So we have the unload trigger, the marker, the bale trigger, and the unload node. Alright. So what do we have in production point? We have the player trigger. So where do we want to slide the player trigger to? Let's pull it over here. Let's put it here. And then it should have the player trigger node with it. It does. Alright, so that's done. And then our pallet spawner's done. Our warning stripes are done. I think this is the factory itself built. Now again, like everything else, we're going to need a store photo. So let's make the plane invisible. And let me get a screenshot. So let me copy that. And we'll save that and we'll just minimize it for a minute. Alright, so this was the mill. Let's go back to the hen house. Alright, so icon hen house. This should have, okay, yeah, empty. That's what I thought. So let's cut that out. Let's open up my FarmSim22 folder. Open with paint.net. Alright, so let's copy that onto here. That'll work. And then we just start cutting the background out. And then let's go color picker yellow. I'll go like 55 in bold. And hen house. Alright, that works. Let's save that. Alright, so that gets our store photo done. Alright, so the barn I'm done with. We can delete that. We can delete the fence. We can delete the pole. and the silo. Alright, so we have our effects folder. We have our fill planes, but I don't know what we're going to need yet. We have a down box palette because we're going to get feathers that we'll use in a future factory somewhere. So we have our box of, let me take my speed back down. So we have our box of down. So we have our feathers ready to go. We have our custom palette of eggs, but they're going to act like regular eggs in game. Any place that takes eggs should take these. So we have our custom boxes of eggs, and then we have our live chickens we're going to have to buy at the vehicle shop and haul to the. So we have our pallets of live chickens. This is the one I'm worried about. This is the one I don't know if I'm going to get to work or not. But those are set up so far. Let me check. The only thing I didn't do is I didn't check my texture paths. So let me get that out of the way. Make sure there's nothing weird going on with our pallets. Okay, so they're all good. So that gets our pallets done. We have our scripts. We have nothing in. We have a couple things in. Oh, that's from the old. I don't know if I need any of those textures. Let me do something really quick. Let's save this and close it a minute. So I want to check the texture paths in here. So we have no custom textures. Those were the old textures from the old hen house I was messing around with. So we can delete those out. I had a couple different. I was playing around with this for a couple of days trying to get it to work, and I've been unsuccessful so far. So we have our HUD filled down. The eggs we're going to be able to use the in-game. Well, let's not jump ahead. Let's go to the mod description. Let's get rid of. Oh, we can leave it. All right. So let's go. Search, replace. Hen house. Let's replace that. We can replace that. Replace those. Okay, so this one has to get manually changed. This one has to get manually changed. We have our brand, we have our scripts, we have our new fill types, we have our XML is also going to be hen house. We'll have to come back and put our pallets in a second. What's our icon? It is icon hen house all lowercase. So this is actually icon hen house. Alright, so we have that done. So what pallets do we have so far? We have our down box. So we have our down box palette, and they're under pallets. Let me take that down. Alright, so we have our down box palette. Let me delete this item. Let me delete that one out. Alright, so we have our down box palette. We have egg 2, which is our custom egg palette. And then we have our live chicken. Palette. So that should be everything for the mod description. Alright, so that should be done. So next up, let's rename this hen house. work on this next. So hen house. Hen house, and then this is icon hen house. That's going to take care of our store photo. Let's go like 89,000. Oh, let's go like $89,000. Brand. Placeable production points. So everything's good through there. What's our I3d called? I think it's hen house, all lowercase. Alright, so there's our hen house. Alright, so we got rid of test area 2 and test area 3. So let's get rid of them on the bottom. Test area 3, test area 2 we can get rid of. We also got rid of clear area. Let's work our way back down. So that can stay. So we got rid of clear area 2 and 3. We got rid of level area 2 and 3. So let's back down the bottom. So level area 3 and 2 can get deleted. Clear area 3 and 2 can get deleted. Alright, so we're good through there. Tip collusion area, test area, info trigger. We don't want the props loading in because we have our own props. So I think I have to get rid of the props link node down below. I do. So let's get rid of that. Because I'm building this off of this spinnery. So those we don't need to spawn in. Let me get rid of those. Now our lights. Lights are going to be a pain. Let's go into Mammoth Mill. And I'm going to grab the light node out of here. So let's copy that. Let's replace what's in here. Well, actually, let me drop it down here a minute, so I can compare them side by side. Okay, so I still need real lights low, real lights high. So I have that down below. And then I need light link node 1 and light link node 02. Okay, so let's get rid of the old ones, 1 through 7. Get rid of those, and let's grab these two. I could throw them into here, and then we just have to I3d map them. So now we can get rid of this old mess of lights that we were not going to use. Save that. So lights are done. Alright, production point next. We are going to go with egg. Actually, let me jump in here a second. I don't need all this mess. Let me just grab this. Let me move this over to here. This is a lot cleaner. Alright, so we're going to go with egg. And we're going to go with egg. Let's bump this up a little bit. Alright, so we are going to input clover we are going to input water. For now, that I may add a little bit to that. We are going to get egg down. Oh, we have to input chicken. Let me. Let's go up here. And what's my fill? What's my fill type? Let's go back to the hen house. Let's go to pallets. I'm just going to open these 3 pallets up really quick so I get the right fill types. All right, so this is going to be live. This is going to be live chicken. And we're going to use clover from the greenhouse, a little bit of water, and we're going to get eggs and down. Now, do we want to deliver any empty crates or any empty boxes? Down is in a box. But the eggs are in a crate. So let's bring in some crates. So we'll do 3 inputs, or 4 inputs. So let's add in crate. And then we'll adjust those numbers in a second. Let me get rid of this. Alright, so live chicken, let's go with like half. Let's go a little bit of clover, a little bit of crate, and a little bit of water. And we'll get 100% eggs, and we'll go like 25% on the down. Alright, so we have to add in here, I need live chicken, I need clover, we need crate, we need water, and then I have to add one more line in. I've got to change the capacity on the, let me delete that out because I got to change the capacity anyway. So we need egg, and I need down. And these should all be 1,000,000 liters each. Alright, so that should be that done. Now our inputs are going to be live chicken, clover, crate, and water. Do we want to add straw? If we add straw, we're going to have to try and do something with manure. But how do I make the manure work? And we'd have to rebuild the I3d. Do we want to get a little bit of manure out of the chicken, out of the hen house? Maybe. Let's jump into, let me look at something. Let's jump into the base game files for a minute. Steam apps, Farm Sim 22. Alright, what do we have in the way of manure? Can I get a manure tank and a manure heap? I can. Let's take a look at this. It doesn't have, it has the trigger though. So we could pick up our manure. Maybe. What does it run off of? It's going to run off of the XML, I think. Let's look at the manure heap. XML a minute. Clear area, start area. Okay, that I know. Manure heap. Tip area, clear area. Okay, so I really only need the loading area. So I can actually add that to my existing trigger. No, we'll have to add a trigger in. We want to throw a little bit of straw in and get some manure out of here. I don't know if I can get it to work. So if I throw this in, I have to tie the manure XML in. Alright, let me think here a second. I don't know if I can get the heap to work without this XML. And I'm trying to figure out how to tie this XML into the factory without using this as an external. Without an external mod next to it. You know how you put the cow barn down and then you have to put the manure heap next to it? We would probably have to do it the same way. I'm going to let it go. We're going to leave that out. So let me close that. Alright, so we're going to leave the manure out. So let's get back to our factory. Alright, so we have live chicken, clover, crate, and water. And we have our pallet spawners for our, to spawn our pallets out. Sounds. We don't want the spinnery sound. I don't know if there's a chicken sound. Oh crap, I just closed the map. I did. So let's go back into the base game. Chicken. Is there a chicken sound? There is. Can we tie it back to... I don't know. Let's look at the chicken barn. What are they referring their chicken sound to? Oh, I don't want that. I wanted the chicken barn XML. Pallets, fences, hotspots, AI. Alright, so the chicken barn's not making any sounds. Chicken barn small. Chicken barn big. Is the chicken barn itself making sounds? It's not. Okay. So let's get back into here. So the sounds we can get rid of. And then that leaves us with our trigger markers, which should be the same. Alright, so the interior we don't need. Hang on, I gotta throw the dog out of my room. He's been a royal pain in the ass for the last couple days. Alright, so let's get our I3d mapping done. So let me just make sure that, again, just no texture issues, no texture issues. Alright, let's open this back up. Alright, so let's get this guy open. Alright, so clear area is going to be 10100100101. Okay, so clear area is good. Level area should be good because it's number 2. So that should be good. Indoor area is number 3. So that doesn't change. Test area is number 4. Tip collusion area is number 5. Info trigger is number 6. Now our lights probably have changed. Alright, so how do they want this? Okay, real lights low is this number. And that didn't change. Okay, real lights high is 801. So that didn't change. This is going to be 81 and so this has to go to an 8. And then this one has to go to an 8. Alright, so we're good through there. Selling station. Should be all number 9. So that's all good. And that leaves. So that's all good. Player trigger is going to be 10 and 0 and then 10, 0, 0. So they're good. Pallet spawner is 11. Warning stripes are 12. I think that is everything for the I3d. So let's get rid of the plane. Let's give that a quick save. So that should be the barn itself. Alright, so new fill types. Let me close Mammoth Mill so I don't accidentally make any changes to it. Alright, so the first one is going to be live chicken. And I can change the cotton to live chicken. Oh, we're going to have to make a HUD for live chicken, which I don't have done. Alright, no particle effects. Right, yeah, I don't need particle effects. The only thing I really need is HUD. Actually, let me do this. I don't want to build it off of that one. Let's get rid of that one. Let's get rid of this one. I can build it off of this one. So it has a whole bunch of extra stuff in it I didn't need. Alright, let's go live chicken. And this can go down. To live chicken. And then our HUD, we're going to have to make a HUD for live chicken. Which I don't think I did. And then our XML is what? Live chicken. And then this falls under pallets. So we'll have to come back and do a HUD. So the HUD, we're going to have to come back and do the HUD. So let me just skip over that one for now. So second one up is going to be Clover. And we can grab Clover out of here. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to do a shift find. Nope. Control find. Clover. Let's copy that into here. And then we're going to need the HUD for Clover. We already have our Clover box palette. Alright, next up, crate. So we can grab that out of the map. Copy that over to here. And then we're going to need the HUD for crate. We already have the pallets. We also need water. So let's grab that. Right here. Into here. And we don't need anything for water. It's just going to run off of the in-game HUD. So next up we need egg, and then we're going to have to create a category for down. So egg, we can grab this one, put it in the factory, and then I can run off the in-game HUD, but we have a custom palette. And it is going to be egg 2 so we don't want the in-game palette, we want our custom palette. And then I need a palette, we got to make a category for down. Yep, down. So we can grab this guy. And we can call it down. Down. We're going to have to make a HUD for down. And it is what? Down box. Down box palette. Okay, so we still have to do all of our HUDs. Alright, so our product. So anything in a palette. Let me jump back over here. So we need live chicken Clover crate. So live chicken, Clover, crate. Egg and down, and then our liquid is going to be water. Alright, so that should be that done. Alright, now we're going to need some HUDs. So we're going to need a HUD for, we'll rename that in a second as soon as we figure out what we're going to do. Did I make a HUD? I didn't. We have the HUD for down. I don't have a HUD for a live chicken. So what do I have? Let's go to mods. No, let's go to my games, Farm Sim 19. Mods. Let's go into the hollow map for a second. What do we have for chicken? Do we have a HUD I can use? I can. And that's an icon though. We can use this guy. We can use the HUD fill chicken. So let's copy that into there. And we just have to change this guy to chicken. Alright, so we have the HUD for our chicken. We need the HUD for the clover. But I want to pull that out of Farm Sim 22. So let's grab our clover. What else do we need? We need the one for the crate. Right there. And then we don't need one for water, it's going to run off the in-game. I don't need one for egg, it's going to run off the in-game, and we already have the one for down. So we should have our HUDs. So let's go through this. Effects, we don't need. Fill planes are good, palettes are good. We have our scripts, we have our textures, we have our brand. I3d's done. XML should be good. We have all of our icons, we have our mod description, we have our fill types. So mod description saved. The hen house is saved. I can close our palettes. And then our fill type is saved. Alright, let's give this a whirl and see what kind of errors it's going to throw. So let's zip up the hen house. Now, do I have an old hen house in my mods folder that I was messing around with? Nope, I took it out. Okay. So let's copy this into here. We're going to have to update the cell point, but let's get the hen house working first. Let's jump into my No Man's Land save first. Now, do we have a new hen house? We do. That's the first good sign. Well, nothing red or yellow so far. Let's throw the hen house down and see if it's going to throw any errors. Oh, wrong way. We can go over here. Let's grab the hen house. Let me spin my camera a little bit. And we'll throw you... Oh, crap, this is going to spawn in as asphalt. I forgot to change it to dirt. Let me get out of here a second. I don't want this spawning in with an asphalt base. I want it spawning in with a dirt base. I meant to change that. And I didn't. Where's the hen house? I saw it and I skipped right over it. We don't want asphalt. We want dirt. All right, so let's do this. Let's delete that. We'll zip this back up. So let's throw that one back in the mods folder. And let's try that again. Alright, back into here. And back into here. And let's get the hen house in. Why it spins a cam around is beyond me. Hen house. Alright. Do we have anything floating? We don't. Let's jump over here a second. Okay, why am I not getting the... There it is. Alright, so live chicken, clover, crate, and water. We should get eggs. The HUD's messed up for the down. So let's fix the HUD for the down. And we'll see if it's going to throw any other errors. Let's do a quick save. And let's fix the HUD for the down and see if any other errors are in the log. Alright, so let's scroll up top. Alright, what else am I missing? Error clover does fill type clover does not exist. What? Fill type crate does not exist. What? Oh, you gotta love giants. The HUD fill egg is throwing an error. We got all kind of crap going on before we can even start testing. We got a bunch of errors with the HUD fill egg. And it's not even showing the HUD fill down error. Alright, so what's our, let's start up top and work our way down. Alright, hen house pallets, clover box pallet, XML, fill type clover does not exist. Well, hen house. Pallets. Oh, I know why. Because I forgot to take this out. Okay, so input clover. Because we're inputting clover, I don't need the pallet, so we can delete that out. I only need pallets for my outputs. So, and then input crates. Since it's an input, I don't need pallets here, so we can delete that out. So that's going to get rid of those two errors. So that'll clean up those two errors. HUD fill egg. Can't load resource HUD fill egg. Why? Because we're using the in-game egg. Dollar data menu HUD fill egg PNG. It's pulling the in-game egg Why is it throwing an error? Error can't load resource. HUD fill egg. Oh, down here. This is why. This is supposed to be down. So that's going to clear up those two errors at the same time. It's going to put our down back, and it's going to get rid of the HUD fill egg error. And then that's going to clean up that error. Alright, that should be good. That should clean up our errors. So let's go back to the hen house. Did I save the XML? I did. Okay. So let's delete this. Zip this back up. And we'll go copy, paste this into the mods folder. Alright, let's jump back in here. That should clean up our errors. Now, I don't know if the pallets are going to work. That's going to be the second problem. Are the pallets going to work? Now, we're going to have to add down to this placeable cell point. But the first problem is going to be, can we get the live chicken pallets to work that we deliver to the factory? Alright, so we should have all of our HUDs now. Alright, we do. So we have our live chicken, our clover, our crate, our water, and we're going to get eggs and down. But before we go any further, let's see if that cleaned up all of our errors. Alright, now here's the $64,000 question. Is the chicken pallet going to spawn in properly? So let's get my store delivery mod there. Now if we go into the store and we go into where do you go to buy pallets? Pallets. Do we have our chicken pallet? We do. It's not going to let me click on it. So it's not going to let me buy the live chickens. Why? Oop, I don't want that. I wanted to go back. So why can I not buy live chickens at the store? Am I getting an error? Yes. Okay, so let's go figure this error out. I knew that pallet was going to give me a hard time. Alright. Live chicken pallet I3d could not be found. Pallets live chicken XML. Check vehicle configuration and mode. Live chicken pallet I3d could not be found. Alright, let's look at pallets, live chicken pallet. What's our I3d called? Oh, just live chicken. So this has to go to just live chicken. I think that may fix it. Let me double check the I3d. So it's live chicken, capital C, singular. Live chicken, capital C, singular. Okay, so I had the pallet named wrong. Vehicle I3d loading failure. Okay, so I think I just had the I3d wrong. I should be able to buy it in the store now. So did I save that? I did. So let's go back into here. Let's delete that out and zip this back up. Now the second problem is after we buy it, will it auto load? That's probably going to be the next thing we're going to have to fix. So let's jump back into here. I have a feeling we're going to be going from fixing stuff back to the game about 10 times today, just to get this working, will be my guess, because getting this to work, I don't think anybody's done it so far. Alright, so can we, let me just throw my store delivery mod down back here again, just so I know where it is. So can we buy live chickens now? Pallets. Live chicken, I can't, but now it's not going to show it in the store. So why can I not buy it? Why can I not see it in the store? Alright, so it's invisible. Okay, so something's messed up with the pallet. I knew this pallet was going to give me a hard time. Back to the log. Why am I not getting a buyable pallet? And of course you're not going to give me any errors. You're just not going to spawn in. Yep, no errors. So why can I not see you in the store? Alright, no error. So now we're going to be flying blind. Pallets. Live chicken pallet. I can see it in the editor. Why can I not see it in the game? Let's go to our live chicken. XML. Alright, so we have our name. We have our image. Categories pallets, brand is lizard. We have our price. Our type is a pallet. Our file, our I3d is now correct. Can be reset false. Show in vehicle menu. That has to stay false because you don't want it shown when you go to look at your vehicles. And then map hotspot has to stay false. Remove when empty is true because you want the pallet to disappear when it's empty. That's correct, that's correct. So that's all correct there. Dischargeable. Should be good. Alright, so our pallet viz. Why is it not showing up in the store? Our viz is 0, 0. That is just 0. Nope. 0, 0. 0, 0. Don't know why it's not showing up in the store. Maybe I have to, no? Do I have to change my viz to, nope, if I put it there it's not going to show the pallet, it's only going to show the chickens. So my viz node should be 0, 0, so that should be correct. May not be able to finish working on this today. I don't know if I can get this pallet working the way I'll need it to work without messing around with it for a couple hours off camera. It should pick up the entire pallet off of this viz node. Let me look at something real quick. Let me go into FS22 pallets. Let's go into the liquid tank. Let's look at the fertilizer tank XML. Alright, so we have our store data. So we have that and our function. So we have our live chicken. I shouldn't need function. I may need store icon rendering. Nope, that's just the icon to buy it. Let's grab this store data. Let's jump over to here a minute, and let's put it under here a second. Alright, so if we take our name, and we go live chicken pallet. So if we go live chicken pallet, our function should also be live chicken pallet. Alright, our capacity, I think I have it set at, 10,000 liters. Our fill type is going to be live chicken. Ignore the weight true. Alright, so our image is going to be this image. Our price is going to be $200. Allow leasing false. Brand, we're going to change that back to lizard. Category pallets. Finance category. This is the one that's going to throw me. I'm going to leave it like it is for now, and then just to see if it's going to throw any more errors. Okay, so let's take this guy, and we'll turn this one off. We'll go with the one that's going to act like you're buying fertilizer in the store. And then everything else should be the same. Let's look at the base from the fertilizer tank and see if I need to make any changes there. So let me copy that one over to here so we can look at them side by side. Description is the same. I3d is different. Width is and height is different. That's fine. False. Center of mass. Alright, so I don't need this one. Alright, let's see if that is going to be able to get us to buy the chickens in this store. So let's delete that out. And zip this back up. So copy and paste. Alright. If not, I may have to rebuild this entire chicken pallet to get it to work. Building it last night, I knew it was going to give me a hard time to get it to work. I was expecting several issues just to get it to buy it at the store. So let's grab just my store delivery mod just in case, because I don't know where it is at this point. Alright, back into pallets. Not going to show up. So it's not going to show up. And we're going to have an empty pallet. And it's not even registering the live chickens. Okay. I had a feeling that was going to be the problem with trying to get a hen house to work. Why can't we get you to work? And again, there's not going to be any errors in the log telling me why we can't buy it. So now it comes down to just trial and error. Yeah, so now it comes down to trial and error. So if we look at our fertilizer tank XML, what's it referring to? It's referring to the fertilizer tank viz to see it in the store. So I don't see anything different between that palette and my palette. Let's go back into FS22 pallets. Liquid tank. Liquid tank. Because it's running off of the viz. What viz is it running off of? It is running off of 0, 2, and 0. So it's running off of that. Okay, so let's look at our palette. So, do I have to run it off of the content? If I run it off the content, then the palette itself isn't going to show in the store. But then we'll have chickens floating in the air without a palette. Let's try something at first. Let's just change to 0. Let's go to our live chicken palette. Oh. Let's go to our live chicken palette. Let's change this to 0 and 2. And let's see if that will get us to buy it in the store. So back to the hen house. We'll see if the chickens show up with the pallet, then we can go back in and fix the pallet. So copy and paste. Oh, FS19 was so much easier to mod for compared to 22. Alright, let's try this again. Store delivery mod. What is going to show up this time? Nothing. Nothing. Why can't I not buy this in this store? So we're going to have just an empty pallet. Why? Why can't I get the viz to show up? And again, we're not going to get any errors on the log telling me what's wrong with the pallet. So why does it not like the live chicken pallet? Vehicle type should be pallet. Vehicle type should be pallet, so that's the same. Our store data is identical because we moved it over to here. So we know our store data is identical. Our base is identical because our pallet's a different size. So that's the same as that. Well, maybe not. Hold on. Let's grab this base. Let's make sure we have everything in here line for line. We have description, we have file name, we have size. We don't have an input. We have can be reset. We have components. We have that, and we have that. So the only thing we don't have is input. So let's add that into here. And then this we can get rid of. Alright, so base is the same as the in-game one. Fill unit, let's bring that over. So we have our remove when empty. We have our remove when empty. We have that, our fill type, our capacity. We don't have start fill type and start fill level. So let's grab, we have ignore fill limit true. Update false, false, they're the same thing. But let's grab this and replace this. And then this has to go to live chicken. So that's our fill type. So our fill unit's the same as the one that we buy for fertilizer. Discharge, dischargeable. Our discharge may be different. So let's just work our way down. Fill trigger vehicle. That may be, let's grab, so we're good up to here. So let's grab this, and this. Let's put it under fill unit because that's where we're different. So up to tension, from fill unit to tension belt. So let me do this. Let's just make this green a minute so I know where I'm at. From fill unit to tension belt. That's the one from the fertilizer. All right, dischargeable, we may not need because we'll use that dischargeable. So let's get rid of that one. We'll run off of this viz, so we'll change our viz. So this one we could probably get rid of. And then we have our dynamic mount trigger. So let's get rid of that. Let's make our pallet identical to the one for buying fertilizer. Alright, so we have a fill trigger. We're missing fill triggers. Does this have a fill trigger? Okay, that has a fill trigger. But, that may be it. Alright, let's go into here. Let's go File, Import. Desktop. FS22 pallets. Liquid tank. Let's bring the liquid tank in. Let's grab the fill trigger and let's go edit, cut. We'll put it in ours and we'll move it up to where it was in that one. So that brings the fill trigger in. So it's going to be zero. Let me just copy this. No, I don't need to copy that yet. So let's grab this line and move it over to here. So our fill trigger should be the same. I think it was 001 it is. Okay, so that is now the same. So we have our fill trigger. We should have our dynamic mount trigger. That didn't change. And then we just need to change this to pallet viz. So we have, so this now matches what the fertilizer pallet does when we go to buy it in the store. Now we have our viz. We don't need the butterbox component. So I don't think we're going to need this. We have the dynamic mount trigger. Discharge node we don't need anymore. Butterbox and then tension belt. I'm going to turn these off a minute. But we're missing, so we have the dynamic mount trigger. We have the fill trigger. We have our viz. Material herbicide, so 0, 2, and 1. 0, 2, and 1. What is that? What category is that in? In the visibility, so it's going to be in our content. Alright, let's do this. Let's go File, Import, bring the liquid tank back in, and then let's grab this guy, and let's go Edit, Cut, and Paste. So it's going to be in the same category as the liquid tank. And then let's grab this guy. Let's throw it in here. If this doesn't work, I'm going to probably have to just completely rebuild this palette. And then our mapping is going to be this guy moved over to here. Let's bump that up. I have no idea if this is going to work. If this doesn't work, we're going to have to completely rebuild this palette. What I3ds do I have open? Just the two palettes. Okay. So let's go back into here. Zip it back up. Copy. Paste. And I'm not holding out a lot of hope that this is actually going to work. I like 19 more than 22 so far. I'm seriously thinking about going back and playing 19. I definitely like 19 better than 22. It's so frustrating to mod for 22. Alright, are we going to be able to buy it in the store? If not, I'm going to completely rebuild that palette. Oh, maybe. If we get one out, oh, maybe. And it's actually telling me it's 2,000 liters of live chicken. We need, okay, so I want that to be 10,000 liters of live chicken. But let's see if we can auto load it first. And then we'll go in and fix the palette. Let's change that to Euro palette. And let's see if we can auto load the chicken. Is it R? It is R. But it's not going to strap down. So there's no tension belt node. So we may have to put the tension belt node back in. Let's see if, let's fix the capacity and see if we can get the tension belt node to work. And we'll see if it's throwing any errors. Yep, it's going to throw a bunch of errors. CPU mesh flag required for tension belts. Yeah, I knew this was going to give me a hard time. Error failed to find child 12 from collision node. And we have an index not found. Alright, so if we have an index not found, failed to find child 12 from collisions, only 2 children are given. So it doesn't like all of these individual chickens. Those are the collisions just for the pallet. Nine, 10, 11, 12. Fail to find child 12 from collision node. So it doesn't like 03 and 12. So it doesn't like this. Okay, so where is material herbicide? Listed up here, it's not. Okay, so let's get rid of that line. So that should clean up the first set of errors. And then it's telling me mesh node palette viz. So the palette viz does not have a CPU mesh flag required for tension belts. So the palette viz, this guy, doesn't have a tension belt node. So let's go back into one of my palettes. Let's pull up the down box. Palette. And let's pull up the down box XML. Alright, so it needs a tension belt node. Alright, so let's grab the tension belt node from here. Let's go to live chicken. And that was where? Content object. Nope, we don't have it. Tension belt. See, that's under content. This is running off of tension belt. I think I have let me see. I have a tension belt here. So let's change. Let me copy that. Let's change this to here, and it'll pick up the tension belt. We can always change it back. And then this has to be 10,000 liters. Let's see if that cleans up our errors. So let's come back to henhouse. Did I save the XML? I did. Let's delete this out. We're getting closer to making it work. Alright, so copy and paste. We're get close to making it work. Just got to mess around with the tension belt now and hope our vis node doesn't disappear. All right. What are we going to get this time? Is it going to show up in the store? Because I changed the I3d mapping. Pallets. It is going to show up. So it will show up. It tells me it's 10,000 liters of live chickens. So, will it tension belt down this time? Nope, it's not going to tension belt down. So the tension belt node is still messed up. And it's throwing the tension belt errors. Okay, so let's get out of here. I may have to completely rebuild this pallet. Alright, so we're still getting, so it doesn't like the tension belt node. So it doesn't like 03 and 11, so it doesn't like the tension belt node. Throw in any other errors. It's not throwing any other errors. Failed to find channel 11, only 2 children are given. And that is 03 and 11. So it doesn't like it. Oh, 03 and 11 index is not found. 03 and 11. Do I need to rename that? Failed to find child 11 from collisions. Is it because it's named differently? What do we have it named in here? We have it named Pallet Viz. And it's running off of this. Let me copy that one more time. Oh, let me go in here. Let's copy this one more time. So that should be this. That's what our tension belt's running off of. And that didn't change, so that's still correct. So palette underscore viz. Let's copy that. Let's overwrite that and save it. Is it because it's named different? It could be something that's stupid. But this is what our tension belt should strap over. I don't think the liquid tank has a tension belt. So it's using this as its tension belt. So let's go back into the fertilizer tank. So it's using the viz. So it's using 0, 2, and 0. So it's using this as its tension belt. Right? Yeah, 0, 2, and 0. So it's using that as its tension. So it's using the entire palette as a tension belt. I can't do that on the palette I built. So if I use this as my tension belt, well, that may work. Let's change it to this. And see if we can get it to work. Oh, wrong one. This one. Let's see if we can get that to work as our tension belt. Let's save that. And let's do that one more time. So hen house. Copy. And paste to replace. Yeah, I'm running out of ideas now on how to make this palette work. If this doesn't work, I've got one more thing to try, which means completely rebuilding the palette using the palette of fertilizer bags. We may have to rebuild it using the seed bags. I'm sorry, not the fertilizer bags, the seed bags. Alright. Store delivery mod. Pallets. Live chickens. What do you say you are? You say you're 10,000 liters of live chicken, and you say we own it. The problem is getting the stupid thing to tension belt down. Because you're going to have to deliver these to the hen house. Now, what's going to happen when I go to tension belt this? Not going to work. So we're going to get the same Lua error as we've been getting. Yep, tension belt node has an invalid CPU mesh. Oh, it is so frustrating. Alright, so what are we down to in our Lua errors? Live chicken palette, mesh node palette viz does not have the CPU mesh flag set for tension belts. CPU mesh flag. Palette viz, hold on. Mesh node pallet viz. So what's our pallet viz? Our pallet viz is 0, 0, and 3. So this is 0, 0, and 3. Yep, it's right. We don't have our mesh flag. So let's look at this guy. And where's our tension belt node here? So we have to check. Okay, so it's not the correct. I believe that's my viz node. Or that's my tension belt node. That is my tension belt node. 0270. 0270. Okay, so our collision's not going to work. Or it does not have the CPU mesh flag. Okay, so this guy has a CPU mesh flag on that tension. Our tension does not have a CPU mesh flag. So I need to pull a mesh flag out of one of the pallets. And I'm going to have to put everything inside of it. So basically I'm going to have to rebuild that chicken pallet anyway. Because I need something that has the CPU mesh flag. This does not have the CPU mesh flag, and I have no way of adding it. So I've got to get something here that has my mesh flag, which means all of my chickens now I wonder if I take, nope, that's still not going to work. So each one's going to have an individual tension belt node. I can't make one node for the entire pallet. Now if I take this and turn a rigid body on, no mesh flag. But what's the collision? What's the... Nope, still not going to work. So that's not going to work either. Why can't I run my collision? Alright, let me try something. So the palette viz has to replace content because that has the CPU mesh. So that has to replace content. So if we take the palette viz and we go, where do I put it? Up here. So we go edit, cut, and paste. And then I have to move it up to where our content was. So it's got to go up one more. And then we take everything from our content. We go edit, cut. We put it inside of the palette viz. And I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. And I can't make it any smaller. Alright, so let's undo that. Alright, so now if I take alright, let me do this. Let's go File. Let me create new folder. And we're just going to call it, what's today? 0309. Alright, so let's take the palette viz. Let's go File, Export Selection with Files, Desktop 0309, palette underscore viz. Let's save that. Alright, so we're going to open this guy up. Let's go File, Edit, Freeze Transforms. I want to freeze the transforms for scale. And we'll save it. And I'm going to close it. So it now should be saved for scale. So my scale should now be all ones. So let's go back into here. Let's go File, Import. Let's bring it back in. And then we're going to go Edit, Cut, and Paste. So this one is going to come out. This one has to get moved up. Now if I take my content and I go Edit, Cut, and Paste, it's still, no, maybe. So now that is, everything here is now inside of the palette viz. And the palette viz is now this number. Live chicken, which is this number. So 003. So that's the same. So that's the same. So now we're going to run off of there. But now that has our CPU mesh flag. So let's save that. That may do it. That may have fixed the palette. So let's delete this. Let's make sure I didn't make any other changes to the XML before I zip it back up. So the palette viz is going to run off. Oh yeah, we should be good now. I'm hoping. So copy mods folder. Paste. Alright. I'm optimistic this time. Watch it not show up in the store now. All right. One more time. Store delivery mod. Pallets. Live chicken pallet. Just get 2 for now, just to see if they'll auto load. So you're telling me that you're 10,000 liters, and you're telling me that it's a live chicken pallet. So let's see if you're lying to me. $64,000 question when I hit the tension bell. Oh, that may have done it. I think they got that got rid of all of our errors. So we now have a working live chicken. We now have a working live chicken pallet. Let's get a few more. Yeah, I know. Yay, finally. It only took, how many hours have I been streaming? It only took 2 hours to get a working pallet. Yeah, the pallets are so much harder in 22 compared to what they were in 19. Now, the next question is, will the factory accept our pallets of live chickens? They look cool, though. All right, hold on, y'all. I need a screenshot. Let's turn this off. Let's turn that off. Oop. Let's get out of the weeds first. All right, I need a screenshot. All right, sorry about that. That's just going to help me later on when I put my daily email recap out. All right, so let's see if the hen house will now accept our pallets of live chickens. We may have to move this trigger. Alright, so this is not going to accept our pallets of live chickens. Am I on the correct side? Yep. Alright, so now we're going to have a problem with the trigger accepting the pallets. So if we drop them on the ground. Alright, where's my tip side set? Ooh, let me turn my F1 back on. Tip side is left. Let's change it to tip side right. So now if we drop what's unload? I. Nope. See, now the trigger's not going to like the pallets. We got one problem fixed, and we create another one. Maybe because it has a bail trigger. I may need to get rid of the bail trigger. No, it's not going to accept the live chickens. Because we need to unload. In the XML. Alright, so it's not going to unload. Why are they not going to unload now? Alright, so any other errors with the pallet? So no errors with the pallet. So now we got to figure out why it won't unload. Alright, so if we go back into the live chicken pallet, we have our fill trigger. But it's not just, okay, dischargeable requires tip collusion area false. Dischargeable, we're going to change this back to, we're going to put this back into here instead of this. So it's going to run off of the discharge node. So we're going to have to put a discharge node back in. So let's come back to here. Let's grab the discharge node from here. Let's move it down to here. And then I can get rid of this. So let's save that. Let's open up we have our chicken pallet open. It should have a discharge node in it. It does. So it's going to be this number here. Goes here. Alright, so fill unit, dischargeable. It's going to run off the discharge node. Let's try that. So back to, let's delete that copy. Oop. Zip, oh, hold on. Alright, zip this back up. So copy, mods folder, paste. And see if it messes it up now buying it in the store. I really want this pallet to work. I really want to get this hen house working. This is our last obstacle. Everything else should be fine. Alright, so let's buy ourselves, get my store delivery mod back. Let's buy ourselves a couple more pallets of live chickens. Alright, let's grab auto load trailer. Let's just pull up sideways. Let's pull up along the stack. They're in the bushes. Chickens are hiding. They don't want to go to the hen house. Well, they're going to tension down. That's a good sign. Now, are they going to disappear? They are not, so they're still not going to unload. I may have to change this trigger out. Oh, not that. I may have to change this trigger out. We're not quite in the trigger. Let me pull up a little bit further. Oh, they are disappearing. We just weren't in the trigger. I know what I need to do. We gotta make the unload speed a little bit quicker. Yeah, we gotta make the unload speed a little bit quicker. Alright, that's an easy fix. So now that we know it's going to take our chickens, that's half the battle, is getting that chicken pallet to work. Everything else should go really quick. So we have our live chickens in there. We need clover, crates, and water. But we're going to make one more change to the hen house. Now that we got the chicken pallet working, everything else should be fine, because we know the clover pallet works, we know the crate pallet works, and water we know works. So let's save this real quick. That is half the battle. The rest is easy. That was like 90% of the battle. The rest is easy. So let's do this. So that it's unloading too slow. So let's change this to 1,000 liters a second. So we have 10,000 liters. So it'll take, well, let's make it 2,000 liters a second. So, and we have 10,000 liters. So that'll unload a lot quicker. So make sure we have no other errors in the log with the pallet. We don't. So now the pallet is completely error-free, and our hen house is completely error-free. We're going to make one more change to the hen house. What time is it? It's 11:20. It got a little bit more time. So let's do this. Let's go into the hen house. Let's go into pallets. I don't know if the egg pallet's going to work because we didn't test it. All right, let me go into the map a second. Oh, wrong one. Let's go into the map a second. So Ritchie's Creek pallets. Let me look at the caviar pallet a minute. Yes, okay, let's do this. File, export selection with documents, no. External storage, external mods, henhouse pallets, chicken cuts pallet. So let's get eggs, feathers, and chicken cuts out of this factory. So let's grab the caviar. Let's copy that over to here. Let's rename this chicken cuts pallet. Alright, so this has to go to chicken cuts. This has to go to chicken cuts. And then our fill type is going to be chicken cuts. So we'll get chicken cuts out of, we'll have to redo the factory XML, but that's easy. So we have part of our chicken cuts palette built. we have to fix, there's two things I want to do. So let's go into textures. So the cheese crate diffuse has my logo on it, so I'm going to change that. To textures. Now we have to take the caviar. Why did the caviar not move over? Oh, it's because it's right here. Okay. So we need to take caviar and make it look like chicken cuts. So look, good old Google Images. And we want packaged chicken cuts. Alright, so what do we want to use for our packaged chicken cuts? Let's copy that into here a second. And then let's go into I want to let's hang on, I want to see something a second. Alright, yeah, I'm not going to use that one. Alright, what else do we have? That one's just breasts. That's not going to work either. Let's scroll back up to the top, work our way down. Alright, so let's go copy and paste. This, I don't know if I'm going to be able to shrink this down. This one may be too big. Let's get rid of the background. And then let's grab this guy. So let's copy and paste. Now let me look at this palette a second. How big or how small could we go? So what's it showing in each box? It's showing 1, 2, 3. It's showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. So it's showing the whole thing. Okay, so if we go so I either make them small, which is going to distort the chicken. But if we make them a little bit bigger and we go like 4, oh, not big enough. let me get a different background in here first. All right, hold on. Well, yeah, because I don't want. Let me grab a different background real quick. Let's get this out of there a second. All right, let's get that out. Let's go back into here, and I need ice textures. And let's grab just something for a background. Wow, let's copy that. Just so we have a clean background to work with. Alright, now let's come over here and let's go copy and paste. And we'll try and get this about 1/4 of the size. So let's go copy and paste. Oh, a little bit smaller. A little bit small. Ooh, a little bit smaller this way. So copy and paste. Copy and paste. And then one more. Let's save that as a DTX1. I'll leave that open 1 second. So let's change this guy. Oh, hold on. So this should be our new. Oh, I did not. So what did it save as? Crap. What did it save as? If it didn't save it as my. Oh, that's the wrong one. This one. Yeah, I want to rename this. So this gets renamed Chicken 1. And then we have to go into our caviar palette, or our chicken cuts palette. And we rename this Chicken 1. So it's different than the caviar. And we save it. Now, let's close that. So now if we open up our chicken cuts palette, we should have chicken cuts instead of caviar. And we do. So we'll see what this looks like when it spawns into the game, and it should have our logo on the side. So that's going to be our chicken cuts palette. And then our XML chicken cuts, 4,000 liters. Okay, so let's open up the mod description. We have to add the chicken cuts palette into here. So you are going to be chicken cuts palette. Oh, we need a HUD. We got to make a HUD. So we have chicken cuts palette registered there. So now we need to go into the hen house, and we're also going to tell. So we're going to make egg. So we're going to put live chickens in, clover, crates, and water. We're going to get eggs, we're going to get down, and we're going to get chicken cuts. And we're going to have to adjust the amounts a little bit. So let's go with we'll get some eggs, we'll get some chicken cuts, we'll get some down. Now we have to store our chicken cuts. So this becomes chicken cuts. Alright, so now we're going to make... Oh, let me close my door. The dog just came busting back in. Alright, sorry about that. So I just don't want my microphone to pick up the TV and get a copyright strike when I upload this to YouTube. Alright, so now we're going to take our inputs. We're also going to make our chicken cuts. So now we have to add it into our new fill types. So we have to take our down. So let's copy our down. So let's copy that, paste it back in. So this now becomes chicken cuts. Oh, if I spell it correctly, it'll become chicken cuts. So this becomes chicken cuts. We have to make a new HUD for chicken cuts, and then our palette is chicken cuts. And then we have to add it into here. So the only thing we have to do now is make a new HUD for chicken cuts. So let's grab the HUD for, doesn't matter, let's grab the HUD for Clover. Let's get rid of that. And let's grab this guy, and we'll paste it into here. And this will be our chicken cut HUD. So let's go File, Save As, HUD, Chicken Cuts. And it has to be a 5. So that's our new HUD for chicken cuts. Let me make sure I spelt it right in here. Chicken cuts, capital SC. Yep. So we should now have our hen house upgraded. So we'll bring our live chickens in from the store. We'll add our clover, crates, and water. We should now get eggs, chicken cuts, and down. So let's delete this copy out. We'll zip this one back up. And we'll go copy, mods folder, paste. Now, before we go any further, let's go into the external mods. Let's go into the cell point. Let me make it version 1.6. Let's add in, we have to add in down, and we have to add in our chicken cuts. We have to add them in there, and then we have to come down here. And so let's grab these two and stick them in here. So you become down, you become chicken cuts. Oh, and we got another troll. We love trolls. And let's save that. Alright, so that's going to be our down. That's going to be our chicken cuts added to our cell point. So let's delete this copy. Zip this back up. And let's grab that. Override the cell point in my mods folder. Alright, now we can really test the hen house. Alright, back into here. Chicken cuts, we're on our way to pizza. Now we need to add spinach into one of the greenhouses. We could do like a chicken spinach pizza. We can add spinach into greenhouse 4. Oh, I don't need my store delivery mod, because now we just need to finish testing this. So we should now have chicken cuts as an output, and we do. So we're going to make eggs, we're going to make chicken cuts, we're going to make down. So we have our live chickens in here. So let's cheat in some clover and let's cheat in some crates, since I'm not making it yet on this map. Alright, so I need crates and clover. We know they work because we have them working on our other map. So there's crates. And we'll find some clover, which is right there. Cheat some clover in. Oh, the pallets that go upside down will not unload. So, super strength. Oh, let's grab this guy. So you need to be on your bottom. Oh, so you're still not going to unload. You've got to be on your feet. Yeah, the triggers are weird in 22. They won't unload upside down or on their side. Alright, so the only thing we should need now is water. Oh, I'm going to turn super strength off. Disabled. Alright, so we have live chickens, we have clover, we have crates. Let's grab some water. Now we may have to fix some of the tension belts on what the factory makes. So let's unload our water. Arlarn, hello! We've been working on a hen house to get eggs, chicken cuts, and feathers. Let's get this guy out of the way. Alright, so we should have everything in here we need. We do. So I'm going to leave them on storing so the pallets spawn out. So let's activate that. And let's go 120 speed till we get one pallet of each spawning out. So I'm going to take chicken cuts and send it to distributing, so I already have one that spawned out. I'm just waiting for the down to spawn out. Alright, so we should have one of each spawned out. So for now, I don't want any more to spawn out. I'm going to just tell it to distribute. So we should have... Oh, we're missing some pallets. We have our chicken cuts. Oh, no, we do. We have our eggs. So you should be 4,000 liters of chicken cuts. They are. You should be 4,000 liters of eggs, and you are. And you should be 4,000 liters of down. Now let's see if these auto-load, or if we're going to get tension belt errors. Alright, what setting are we on? We're on liquid tank. Let's go to Euro pallets. Alright, so it's not going to pick up the eggs. So I'm going to have to rebuild the egg pallet, which is really easy. Alright, let's do... let me get this guy out of the trigger. I'm going to have to delete that egg pallet from the game. But let's get out of here. Let's save this. We got to fix that pallet. So I built that pallet a couple months ago, and I could never get this hen house to work. But so I'm guarantee you that egg pallet's going to throw tension belt errors. Oh, it's not throwing tension belt errors, but it should be a really easy fix. So let's go into external mods, hen house, pallets. Alright, we're going to use the down pallet. So I'm going to take Egg Pallet 2 and Egg Pallet. Let me do something really quick. Let me just zip them up real quick. And I'm going to copy that into here just in case I need it. Alright, so we're going to take our egg pallet and we're going to delete it. We're going to take our down box let's go File, Export Selection. No, I don't want the down. I don't want, do I want the down? No, I don't want the down. I want our chicken cuts. Let's go File, Export. We're going to go into hen house. We're going to go into pallets. We're going to call it Egg 2 Pallet. Let's save that. We're going to take this guy. We're going to copy it. We're going to paste it back in. We're going to rename it Egg 2 Pallet. Now we're going to take the Egg 2 pallet and we're going to take the chicken cuts out of it. And we're going to call it, I think, Eggs 2. Yep. So that has to go to singular Egg 2. So this is now Egg 2. Let's save that. And then we take this guy, and it becomes our Egg Pallet. Our I3d is Egg 2, I believe. Yep, Egg 2. And then we just take our fill types and we make an egg. So that pallet should now be fixed where it'll strap down. Egg Pallet, Egg Pallet 2 I3d Egg is our fill type. So that pallet should now strap down. Let's just make sure it looks like a box of eggs. Yeah, so this should now be fixed. And then it's Egg 2 pallet. So make sure it didn't change in our mod description. Egg 2 pallet. What am I missing? Is that the only thing we had to fix? Down pallet's good. Yep, I think that's the only thing we had to fix. Oh, I know. I needed to do this. I have to delete it from my save because we rebuilt the pallet. So let me go into FarmSim22, save game 9, vehicles. I got to delete the egg. So let me find egg. Okay, I swear there's an egg pallet in here. Is that the correct save? Am I save game 9 or am I save game 10? What map are you? You're Elm Creek. No, it's save game 10. I got to get that pallet off the map. Let me do a control find for egg. Yeah, I got to get this pallet off of the map. And let's save that. Yep, and it will spawn another pallet of eggs out. Dixie swinging the hammer. All right, let's go back into the mods folder. Let's go back into the hen house. Let's delete that out. We'll zip it back up. And we'll do a copy and paste. How many times have we rebuilt this hen house today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Not bad. 12. Only 12 times. Alright, so let's jump back into here. So let's jump back into save game 10. So we should now have all of 3 of our pallets working. Our feathers, our chicken cuts, and our eggs should all be working properly. So, but we're going to have to spawn out a new pallet of eggs because I deleted the one from the map. I did. So let's turn this back on. So let's take our eggs, tell it to distribute. Oh, I'm sorry, store, because we want them to spawn back out. Let's grab another chicken cut. What the heck, we'll just turn them all back onto store. Let's spawn out a couple more pallets. Alright, so back to 1 speed. You distribute, Distribute. Yeah, chicken cuts. We're definitely going to do some kind of chicken pizza. So we should now have our chicken cuts. We should now have our down. We should now have our eggs. Let's make sure they will now auto load. So let me dump those off. Go back to Euro pallet. And let's see if our new pallets, see if our egg pallet's now fixed. It is. So we should now have our down, our chicken cuts, and feathers to tickle the wire. Yep. You know, so we're on our way to redoing Old Man's Mill with walkers, wheelchairs, and feather dusters. I want to grab another screenshot. All right, let's make sure the cell point works. Awesome. And then let's buy a couple more live chickens just to make sure there's no weird issues with our live chicken pallet. And we'll check the log for errors one more time. But we should have no problems now with buying our live chickens from the store. Are there any more hiding in the bushes? I have my store delivery mod in a bad spot. So we know they'll unload from the trailer. Will they unload if we drop them on the ground? So where is my unload? No, let's go to tip side right. Let's drop them on the ground this time and see if they'll unload off the ground. We know they'll unload from the trailer. Let's make sure they unload from the ground. I may have missed the trigger. Yeah. A couple of them missed the trigger. We're going to have to turn that unload speed up a little bit. A little bit more so they unload a lot quicker. Yeah, we're going to have to up the unload speed. So we'll make that pallet unload a lot quicker. But I think that's the only thing I need to do now. I think we are good to call this... Let me flip my vehicle around so I can get one more screenshot. So I think I'm ready to have Dixie break this. I mean, test it. Test it. That's what I'm looking for. Let me turn my F1 HUD off. And I want one more screenshot. Pizza, chicken, bacon, ranch, and even now we need the Alfredo sauce. I know we got a lot of factories yet to build. Now we're getting into the fun part of 22, where we can just start cranking out factories. So we're going to have an awesome hen house. How I didn't even plan that, but we ended up with one chicken on top of the fence. All right, so we're going to have to fix that. But I like that chicken on top of the fence like it's running away. So we're going to have to go in and fix that. Just bring him up a little bit so his legs aren't in the fence. We got a runaway chicken. All right, so we got to up two more things really quick, and then this is good to go. So let's save this. Getting hungry, talking about all that food. I know I haven't had any lunch today yet, and it's noon here. So two things we got to do real quick. Let's make the pallet unload even quicker. So let's go into our live chicken pallet. Oh, empty speed's only at 500. So it's, hold on, liters per sec. Oh, down here. That's what's wrong. Okay, so this one has to go to 2,000. So that's why it wasn't discharging fast enough. All right, so that's going to fix that. So it's going to unload a lot quicker. And then we have to go into the hen house. All right, so let's close that. We're done with it. Let's close this one. We're done with it. Let's close this one. And let's close that one. All right, let's go into the hen house and fix the runaway chicken. So have him sit standing on top of the fence instead. And then, just for the heck of it, just throw one up here on the roof. Alright, save that. Delete that. Zip this up one last time. So let's go copy and paste. Let's check the unload speed on that pallet one more time. And then I'm going to get out of here for the day. Ought to make that a stray rooster. I could throw a rooster in there. I think I have one. Let's jump in there real quick. I think I have a rooster. Characters, animals, domesticated, chicken, rooster. We do. Let's do this. Let's go into the hen house. Let's take that one that's sitting up on the roof. So let's take this. Oop, I don't want that. Where's my viz? Chickens. Let's take that last chicken. We'll delete it. Let's go File, Import. Desktop. Characters, animals, domesticated, chicken, rooster. No, the fowl. I think it's the fowl rooster is the one I want. Oh, no, it's not. That's the one that's invisible. Let me delete that one. File, import, fowl rooster post. Nope. I'm not gonna be able to pull the rooster out, I don't think. Oh, I know I know what I got to do first. All right, hold on. Let me get rid of this. I got to go fix it first and then import it into the map. All right, let me get rid of that whole mess. Let's go fix the rooster first. So back to characters, animals, domesticated, chicken, rooster. I think it's this one. Yeah, let's grab this guy. Is it this? It is this. Now the problem is, oh, can I pull the whole thing out? I might be able to pull the whole thing out. Let's go File, Export, Henhouse, Rooster. Let's pull it out of there. So let's look at this rooster that's in here now. With all those female chicks, it should be the one that's trying to run off. Nope, it's going to crash. So it doesn't like the rooster. So let's delete those. Let's open this up again. Doesn't like that I3d for some reason. Why do you not like this? Why can't I just pull this out? So we're going to have to do it the hard way. So let's go back into here. I did delete it. All right, let's go File, Export Selections. Let's go Body. I got to pull each individual piece out and rebuild it. I had to do that with the other chicken. Let's go File, Export. Let's going to call it P1 for Part 1. And let's grab this guy. File, Export. Let's call it P2. All right, let's close that. And let's see if it'll open up this time. So let's grab the body. Will it open or will it crash? It's going to crash. I can't pull the rooster out for some reason. Let's delete that. Let's delete those. Yeah, it doesn't like that rooster. Let's go this one. See if this one will let me pull it out. Let's try this one. Yep, this is the one I'm going to have to work with. Let's go. Well, then let's pull that one into the map. Hold on. This one, I'm able to work with this one. So let's come back into here. Let's go File, Import. Let's bring in the desktop, characters, animals, domesticated, chicken, rooster. I want the one that's posed. And it's going to be in 3 different... I'm going to have to rebuild it, so I don't want to bring it into here. I got to rebuild it first. So let's delete that. Hold on. Hold on. Let's delete that out. Let's delete that out. And let's delete that out. Let's try this again. Actually, I'm going to close this without making any changes to it. So let's come back into here. Yeah, pulling these out are a pain in the ass. Let's grab all 3. Let's go File, Export. I'm going to bring it to my desktop. Let's go into here, the one that, and let's go. Oh man, it's going to give me such a hard time. All right, File, Export selection with files, desktop, body. File, export, P1. File, export, P2. Alright, so what, because they're not in the same, they broke the I3d up to 3 different pieces. Good old giants. We're going to have to rebuild the rooster. So where do we want this rooster? Do we want the rooster on the fence, or do we want the rooster on the roof? Alright, so we have to take the body. Let's go File, Import. Let's import in P1. So let's go Edit, Cut. Let's put it inside of the body. And that gives us half the feathers. Let's go File, Import. Let's grab P2. And we'll go Edit, Cut, put it inside of the body. And so now we have everything in one I3d. Let's save it and close it. So now if I open up the body, I should have one complete rooster. And it's not going to crash. Okay, so now we can take this guy. Let's go File, Export. Let's export it out into the hen house. Hen house. Let's call it rooster. And then we should be done with this. So now I should be able to pull. Let's open up the hen house. On the roof. Protein pick mix. Hello. Our alarm says on the roof as well. Okay. So, so let's take the chicken that's on the roof. We'll get rid of that one. Thanks so much for your guidance about the factory I'm doing. It's nearly complete. You are more than welcome. Alright, let's go File, Import. Let's bring in the rooster. Okay, cool. It is going to come in complete. So let's go Edit, Cut, and Paste. No, I think I made these smaller. We may have to make this. Let's do this first. Let me create a plane. So I want to be able to put this, I want to see the size of the rooster compared to the size of the chickens. Okay, nope, he could be a little bit bigger. He could be a big old fat rooster. Let's throw him up here on the roof. Watching over the chickens. Alright, so let's get rid of the plane. And we'll save that. We'll close it. Now look, we can get rid of the rooster. Let's make sure we have no texture issues now. And we don't. So we're good. Alright, so let's just delete this one. Zip this one back up. And we'll go copy, mods folder, paste. So this is the 14th time we've rebuilt the hen house today. We should be good now. This should be the last update, or the last fix. Save game 10. And then we should have if I get myself turned around. Alright, cool. So we have the chicken on the fence trying to take off. And we have the big old fat rooster now watching over its flock. Wish I could animate those chickens, I just can't. Alright, so we should be good now. So we have our live chickens that we buy at the store, so they're working. We put in our clover, our crates, and our water, so we're going to get our eggs, we're going to get our chicken cuts, and we're going to get our down. Yeah, watching over his ladies, exactly, right? Yeah, so this is going to be an awesome addition to the game. Do we want to retexture anything? Do we want to change the color of the silo up at all? I like the barn being red. Do we want to change the color of the silo up a little bit? Or do we want to leave it like it is? Because it won't be hard to change up the color of the silo. And we should probably grab a hen house sign. So those will be the only two things I do if I change anything. One sign. No, we don't even need a sign on the barn. Actually, we do. I know what I want to do. I'm going to grab a sign. I'll grab a little bit later lunch. Let's grab one sign. Let me know if we want to change the color of the silo or leave the color of the silo the way it is. We got to put a big old sign on the barn. Let's go into external mods. The fishing. Let's go into Wonder Worm. I'm going to pull the sign out of here. Sign one. File, export selection with files, sign one. Let's grab the sign out of there. I may need the texture. Let's see if I pull the texture out. Hen house sign one. It did pull the. I think it pulled the texture out. It did. Silo needs an old man logo on it. Nah. Matt K, hey everyone, mod progression is looking really good. Thank you. Yeah, when we get back into the map, I'll show you what we have in the works. We have the Pie Factory in the works. We have the mod pack for fishing in the works, and now we'll have the hen house in the works. Alright, let's come back into here. Let's go, let me close this. Let's go John Deere Tractor, not clip art. Let's go drawing. I want to find an old John Deere tractor billboard. If we get an old John Deere billboard, we can. That's going to be too small. That's going to be too small. Probably the same one I picked. I want to grab something that doesn't have a watermark in it. That's going to be too small. Oh, I'm not going to have a lot of luck finding an old John Deere billboard. Let's go old John Deere tractor posters. Let's go. Does it have any watermarks in it? Not what I wanted to do. Does it have any watermarks? It doesn't. Let's go copy. Let's paste it into new image for a second. Yeah, and then let's cut it down. Nope. Let's make it a little bit smaller. So let's go copy and paste. Alright, let's shrink it down till I can see the bottom of the poster. There we go. Alright, we're going to have to do something with the sides a little bit. Yeah, I just want to grab now like a red barn wood texture. And let's just grab something like that. And then let's just grab that. And let's just fill the sides in a little bit. And then let's save that. And then we'll change. Let's rename this poster JD1. And then let's change this to poster JD1. And now when we open up our sign, we should have an old John Deere. You could give the silo an egg color. We can look at texturing up the silo. So this is going to put like an old John Deere photo on our barn. So let's open up the hen house. Let's go over on this side. I kind of like it like up here. So let's go File, Import. Let's bring the sign in. I'm going to go Edit, Cut. Let's throw it in here. And let's get it spun around. So let's go to 0 and then minus 180. That should work. Gets us a nice logo on the barn. Sort of blends in a little bit. Alright, let's save that. Now, what do we want to do with the silo? Because I'm going to actually have to pull the silo texture out of the map. Alright, so I want to go Steam Apps. I need US textures. I need Farm Silo to diffuse. I think I have that. So if we go into if I go into my old Seed Master, that's Farm Silo 3 diffuse. That's not the one I need. I heard a bling, but I did not see it pop up on the screen. I apologize. If I had a new follow, thank you very much. I missed your name. Type something in chat so I can see who the new follow was. All right, that's Farm Silo 3 diffuse. What do I need? I need Farm Silo 2 diffuse. I don't have it. All right, so let's go into this PC, program files, Steam apps, common, Farm Sim 22. What's my path? 1018, hello. All right, data maps US textures. So I need data maps map US textures. And then it's farms. I need Farm Silo 02 diffuse. So I need Farm Silo 02 diffuse. Farm Silo 02 diffuse. I need this guy. So let's copy this guy into there. Okay, so this is our silo. So what do we want to texture? We can texture this up. Oh, you know what? I think that was for this shanty. I don't know if that's the one I need for here. Is that the same? It's not going to show it to me. It's not going to show it to me. We're just going to have to try it and wish for the best. Let's close this a second. Let's change the gray and see if it changes the color of our silo. I can actually do it from here. So let's go with, I don't want, our barn is red. I don't want a red. We can, I don't want really an orange or green. What color like silo do we want to go with? Do we want to go with like a blue? Do we want to go with something a little bit more green? We can go with like a really, really dark blue and see what that looks like. So let's go File, Save As. I'm going to call it Farm Silo 02. Oh, no, hold on. We have to save that first. Oh, no, hold on. I'm going to go Farm Silo 02A. Dark blue. Yeah, let's see what this looks like. And then we can always change it up. So Farm Silo 02A. So we have to go into the hen house. And we got to change Farm Silo 02A texture. So it pulls it out of our own folder and doesn't pull it out of the map. So now if we open up the hen house, we'll see if we like the color of the silo. So we now have a blue silo instead of the big old black one. Or the big old gray one. Kind of matches the roof of the little shed. Let's see what that looks like. A sassy one, you like it? Let's see what it looks like in game. Alright, so we're done with the sign. I can delete that. So let's do this. Let's go, let's delete that one out. Zip this back up. And we'll go copy, mods folder, paste, replace. Alright, so should be the last test, and I'm going to get out of here for the day. Appreciate everybody stopping in. If the new follow, I missed your name, I do apologize. And then I'll test this on one more map, and Dixie usually tests them on 2 different maps as well. But let me get over here. Let me show you what we've got working. So we have the pie factory, which is in testing. So we have our pecan pie, we have our apple pie, we have our banana cream pie, cherry pie. So we have our pies, and then we have in the works, we have the earthworm factory. If I can get the, so clean, fill, and compost into earthworms. And then we bring the earthworms over to the hatchery. So we're going to bring in the earthworms, water, and diesel. You're going to get fish. And then you pick up the fish, and we take it to fish processing. So we bring it over to fish processing, and we add ice cubes in empty crates, and we're going to get our caviar, our trout, our salmon, and our catfish. So we have that in the works as a mod pack. And now we'll have our new, I like that blue. We should have made it John Deere green. I like the poster on the barn. I'm almost tempted to go in and make that John Deere green instead of blue. So we have our runaway chicken. We got our rooster looking over the flock. So this is going to make, so you bring in your live chickens from the store, your clover, your crates, and your water. You're going to get pallets of eggs, pallets of chicken cuts, and pallets of down. But I'm seriously thinking we got to make this green. Like the blue, contrast against the green in the grass. Okay, that works. So I'm going to make sure we have no other errors in the log. We should be clean. I should be able to zip this up and get it to Dixie today. So the hen house is completely error-free. Close all this. I don't need open anymore. Done, done, done. So I'm going to throw you all on ending soon. Appreciate everybody stopping in. It's all looking awesome, Sassy One. Thank you. Have a good lunch and an awesome day. Thank you very much. Appreciate everybody stopping in. I'm going to get out of here. Tomorrow we are going to work on an ice cream factory. Protein picks mix. Thanks, dude. Looking great as always. Goodbye and enjoy your lunch. Yep. Tomorrow we're going to work on an ice cream factory. So appreciate everybody. Have an awesome day. I'll catch you all tomorrow.